Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports here on a Monday. I hope you all enjoyed your weekend. Sorry, I was getting my earpiece out. Let me go ahead and hit the do not disturb on the phone. So we are ready to roll here on a Monday. I hope you all again enjoyed your weekend. Hope you had fun here. As summer continues to push on here, headed into July. Oh, excuse me. Wow. As we continue to push ever so close to the training camp portion of the off season, as that's the true beginning of the season, man. That's when we're going to get really super hyped and super pumped. As you all know, the news of the NFL suspension of one Cameron Hayward, or not Cameron Hayward, Cameron Sutton. Now proves to be 8 games. So I know there's an appeal process, all that kind of stuff, but I look for this one to be something that he serves for the full 8 games and rides out until the first eligible game, which would be week 10, considering he'd be due to come back during the bye week, week 9. So Cam Sutton now suspended. So we will dive into that and dive into that conversation. But yeah, it could prove to be something that is serious for the Steelers, but yet there are some bright spots still remaining in that quarterback or in that cornerback room. What's up, Danny George? What's up, Miss Pittsburgh TD? What's up, guys? How are you? Yes, 2 weeks to go, Danny. Yes, abso-freaking-lutely, man, and I am so ready for that to be the case. I'm ready for these 2 weeks to end pretty quickly. I like summer, but I want the training camp portion. I wish we could just freeze time there for a little bit. And, like, that's the hottest part of the summer. You got, like, the end of July, all of August. I like it, man. If I could freeze that portion of summer and enjoy that part for a long period of time, that'd be cool. What's up, Thomas Breeze, George T? Let's go. Absolutely, guys, no doubt. Good to see you all in the chat. Just a reminder, hit that like button for us. We are going to talk about that Cam Hayward or Cam. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Hayward. I got Hayward on the brain, man. I've been thinking about that all off season too. That's like been a big thing for me this off season. Is thinking about Cam Hayward and his potential this year, and at age 35, what that's going to mean for the Steelers defensively in the front. And yes, so that's been a big topic on my mind as we've pushed through this offseason with all that transpired with him following, success there, winning the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, coming back, battling from injury, being way less than 100% last year, finishing the year in 2023. There's so many questions with Cam and so many bright spots that he has provided the Pittsburgh Steelers over the years. And yeah, so it's been a big topic on my mind this offseason, no doubt. Danny George says, I hope Beanie gets the job. What's up, David Henke? Yeah, Beanie Bishop, guys, and I know a lot of people always say, don't put high hopes in any type of undrafted free agent, but I look at it this way. When I look at NFL players as a whole, if you're good enough to get into the NFL, I'm putting high hopes on you. You're in a professional league. I'm going to expect the best from you. And that nothing burns my ass more than people saying, what you should expect or shouldn't expect, or what we should, maybe tag somebody as their potential or not their potential. Bullshit. You're in the NFL. You're getting paid to do it. I'm going to have high hopes for you, and I want you to succeed. That's not a bad thing, So I definitely think that people should just stop saying that. You can't expect this. Bullshit, we can't. We can expect anything we want. We're the fan base. But definitely, Beanie Bishop, man, a guy all Big 12. I think he has the potential to do something. And I'm not going to shy away from putting that on Beanie Bishop and shy away from putting those expectations on a guy that's young, an undrafted rookie free agent that, in my eyes, has significant potential. Great athleticism, a guy that could come in and do it. And I hope to God for him. I hope he does get it done. And I hope he is able to succeed. Absolutely, Miss Pittsburgh. Let's like and subscribe to the show. Appreciate it. Smash that like button. Absolutely. I appreciate that so much. But guys, you look at so many things that have been said this offseason since the reintroduction of Cameron Sutton back into the fold for the Pittsburgh Steelers after a year spent in Detroit, a year in which statistically he wasn't the best. Okay, but Cam did succeed here. Yes, he's had his personal issues, but we're going to not even put those into the equation. I know they contributed to the 8-game suspension. Yes, and we'll get to that. But during this time that they've added Cameron Sutton, in my eyes, I think that they got way better on the football field. I think Cam Sutton fits into the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive scheme. I think he is familiar. I think he knows what he's doing. And I think that's a major part of it. I think that's what slows a lot of professional athletes down is their inability to know the scheme, their inability to perhaps, be able to play as fast as they would like to because they have to think too much. And that's part of being able to be a good ball player is not having to think. And that is at all levels. So we hope, Cam will be able to get right back into it and shine. And he is going to have a large chunk of this season, half of the season in 2024 to prepare for that comeback, to be ready. And when you look at this defensive backfield and you look at the cornerback position as a whole, you say to yourself, that's a position grouping that you can't afford to be thin at for any NFL team. When you're in a pass-happy league such as the one we're in this era of NFL football, you cannot afford to be thin at that position, and it is very detrimental if you are. And you can't be in the middle of the season, week 10, week 12, going into that, or week 10, going into that gauntlet of divisional games. You can't afford to be really super thin at that cornerback position because you don't want to be searching around, looking around, trying to fill those holes that would, be left by a thin cornerback room. You don't want to be there because, look at last year with that inside linebacker room, and you're scrambling in the middle of the season toward the whole, till the, complete end, scrambling to fill those holes every week with quality players. And it was a real task. And when you get into the skill position such as the cornerback position, you're saying to yourself, can you even do that? Can you have the success needed to fill those holes if they do get thin? I don't know, man, but it's definitely a position that you can't afford to be thin at. And I think the addition of Cameron Sutton was a great one in my eyes, football sense wise. I think that it was a perfect move for your Pittsburgh Steelers, and I don't see why anybody would be hating on it in terms of football sense. Because, yes, I know, suspended 8 weeks. Okay, you know what it is now. You know what it is. You know exactly when you're going to get him back, but yet you have some young talent in that room that I think could potentially step in and do some good things. And what do you do now? Do you go out and add a guy maybe like a Patrick Peterson to come back and fill that hole for 8 weeks? Is that somebody you want to do? I don't think that you're looking for an edge 1-2 type cornerback. You're not looking for that. And Cam is not going to be that. Cam is going to be that slot corner, that third guy on the depth chart. And I would love to see a Corey Trice, a Darius Rush. I'd love to see a Beanie Bishop. I'd like to see those guys fill that role. But when Cam is out here for that first 8 weeks, do you say to yourself, you bring in a guy like a Patrick Peterson to fill that void, to take over and, be able to provide a little bit of coverage, for lack of a better term? This bird's already on my nerves, man. We got to find a new home for it. David Henneke, are you happy that we got Patrick Queen from the Ravens and F the Ravens? Yeah, I'm happy, David, absolutely. I think it was one of the best free agent acquisitions in quite some time for your Pittsburgh Steelers, a record-setting contract. And I think that gives you a little bit of hope in terms of when we are speaking here about the defensive backfield, the cornerbacks and things of that nature. When you have a solid middle of the defense, I think that's going to help this 2024 group immensely because they lacked that for the majority of the year last year, and it was something that, put a strain on the back end of the Steelers' defense and the edges in terms of cornerback play, because when you're trying to overcompensate for a position group that's really basically not there kind of deal, that lacks significantly, it strains the other units, and I'm really glad to see, again, another healthy inside middle linebacker room like we did. We started last year with a solid middle linebacker linebacking group, and you saw what that defense was able to do when those guys were healthy. They were able to carry that football team, and that's no bullshit because the offense couldn't score, and they were able to carry that football team when they were healthy, definitely so. They were able to manufacture points. They were able to do a lot each and every week to keep that Steelers team competitive. What's up, Shotdown guy? You look like you enjoy. Oh, my God. Hold on. Let me report that guy. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I got to do this, guys. Sorry. There we go. I reported him. Okay, I reported him. Nice. That was awesome. We got to report somebody for the first time. That was sweet. Danny Thomas, Sutton being out hurts, man. It does hurt, no doubt. Danny Thomas says agreed. LOL. Really excited about the front seven. Yeah, man, there's a lot to be excited for this Steelers defense. And when you said Cam being out hurts, it does hurt. It absolutely hurts. And I want you all to know that Cameron Sutton is a guy that is going to play a role when he is in there, and a significant one. Cam was able to generate a lot of plays from that slot cornerback position. He reminds me of a guy similar to a Mike Hilton without like the elite blitzing part of it. I thought Mike Hilton was an elite pass rusher and blitzer, but I thought Cam Sutton could do some similar things in terms of the coverage and gave you that sense of comfortability with that slot cornerback role being filled whenever Cam was on this football team. You know, there was times he was the number 2 guy, times that he was slipped down into the third. But again, guys, when you're talking NFL football, you're talking tons of sub package. You're very seldom in your base defense, and you definitely have to be able to really focus on. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I was totally lost. I was thinking about what that guy said. It messed me up. But anyway, yeah, Cam, whenever he was out there, man, moving all around, and you're in the sub packages all the time, you need guys like Cam Sutton. You need those guys that can do a little bit of everything. You need guys that can cover, guys that can blitz, guys that can play in different looks, guys that can be comfortable covering tight ends, maybe that are a little bit bigger and a little bit more aggressive. You need guys that can be able to do all of those things. You need those Swiss Army knives, as Mike Tomlin likes to call them. So, yeah, you need those guys that are versatile, and I think maybe even bringing back in a Patrick Peterson or something to fill that void for the season, or for the beginning part of that season, to add some comfortability and a veteran presence. That might be something that they can do. But I really like the possibility of maybe like a Beanie Bishop, Corey Trice, again, Darius Rush, those types of guys stepping in and filling that void left by Cameron Sutton's suspension. Because I know the Steelers have big plans for him, but don't get it twisted. They knew long before this suspension was handed down by the league for a violation of the personal conduct policy that he was going to get suspended. They knew it. They knew exactly what they were doing. And if they didn't have the confidence in their young guys, they would have already made a move, in my eyes, to, reinforce something like that. So I think maybe bringing in a guy like a Patrick Peterson or another veteran, I'm just using him as an example, a guy that's familiar with the system, a guy that's a veteran leader that's played at a Hall of Fame caliber level throughout his career. Maybe not now that he's older, but, a guy that's familiar. You want that kind of guy back in there if you're going to look to kind of fill out the little bit of a hole left by Cam Sutton here, because the young guys can get it done, but when you get into some real battles, man, you want some veteran presence sometimes out there, and definitely you want them smart, intelligent guys that can be some ball hawk, ball savvy type guys. So yeah, Cam Sutton, definite hole, man. Roberta Campbell, I like having Peterson on the team. He is full of fire, and he is wanting to have the last word with his old team. I like Patrick, man, but we got to all be honest with ourselves. We like him personally. We like what he brings in terms of leadership. But as far as football-wise, it's just so hard to keep putting him out there in significant positions. Now, I'm all for him coming back and playing in that, that slot corner. I'm all for him coming back and playing in the sub packages to where you can have him moving around and being versatile. I'm all for those types of things because I think you can cover up and maybe hide some of his deficiencies, being since he's lost a step, since he's gotten older. I think you can hide some of that and put him in roles that he would be able to still succeed. So I'm all about that kind of stuff. But if you're bringing Cam or Patrick Peterson back into the fold and you're going to ask him to play, the twos reps, opposite Joey Porter Jr., I think you are setting up for major disaster because he's just not that guy anymore. And we have to be real about that. But yes, I do like him in the locker room, and I like him, doing those types of things. What's up, Lucas? You can ask the question, man. Roberta, I saw where Cam is out for 8 weeks, so I guess the Steelers should have been prepared for this, the NFL. Yeah, man. Yeah, we were talking about that. We've been talking about that since the start, yeah. So definitely suspended for 8 weeks, yes, out. And the Steelers, like I just said there a few minutes ago, they knew what was going to happen, guys. Let's be honest. They knew exactly what type of suspension that they would be looking at with Cameron Sutton. They have their own investigators on these teams, man. They know exactly what's going to come down the pipe, and none of this stuff is catching them off guard. And I think that they are really comfortable with the young talent that they have in this building. And if you recall what I've been preaching all offseason so far, since the Steelers have been going through their organized team activities and things of that nature, the mini camps, I've been saying all along that I think that this Pittsburgh Steelers secondary has been quietly getting a lot better and has quietly became a really good group. I really think that. And I think that is a testament to some of the young talent they have in that building. Now, barring injury, barring these guys staying healthy, which I hope they can, I think they can do some special things. And I think they have a nice collection of really solid guys out there in terms of athletic ability and potential and upside. So we'll see. Danny Thomas, 100%, man. He knows the scheme very well. He's versatile. Feel like our offense will have more TOP as well. It's going to benefit the defense greatly as they were on the field so much last year. Yeah, time of possession, guys, is probably the most important statistic offensively for an NFL football team, for any football team, in my opinion. Time of possession really tells the tale of the game. Whenever you turn on the tape and before you even know a score and you go through those types of time statistics, you can 9 times out of 10 or 19 times out of 20 predict who wins that game without even seeing the score or yardage statistics or anything by just looking at the time of possession and the times, that offense had that football. You can usually predict the winner, and that usually is how it goes. Time of possession is of utmost importance, and it has to be a significant focus for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year to remain healthy on defense. That is your best defense, guys, is staying out on that football field, controlling the time of possession, controlling the ball, and really dictating the pace of the game. That's what you want to be doing as an offense. And the defense, yes, the defense can control pace of a game a little bit by being really stingy, not allowing a bunch of rush yards, those types of things. Yes, they play a major factor, but the offense really does play a huge, significant role defensively because time of possession wise, they control so much of the football game and so much of how the game unfolds is ran through the offense in the time of possession. Lucas, who do you think will be the QB starter? Russell Wilson, man. David Henneke, I reported him too, so thank you, man. These people sometimes are ridiculous, man. Roberta Campbell, oops, meant to text the NFL loves to penalize the Steelers really stiff. I don't think that that's the case. I can see what you're saying as a Steelers fan because sometimes I feel like that too. But if you look at it overall, that's probably not the case. the NFL doesn't treat the Steelers, I don't think, any differently or any more harsh than they do any other team. And I think what Cameron Sutton was accused of, personal conduct wise, I think it's pretty much on par for what they've done in the past to others who've violated the personal conduct policy in this way. Maybe even a little lighter. Ray Rice, he got like a year ban or something, but he had a video of him punching the shit out of people. So I know every situation's different, no doubt, but I think it's kind of on par with, what they've been doing. But I can definitely see what you're saying, Roberta, no doubt, and respect your opinion there, no doubt. It does seem like that when you're a fan of a team. Absolutely. Everett says we don't need to bring back Pat P. Yeah, that's neither here nor there for me. I'm just using him as an example. I'm not advocating any way, shape, or form for any certain player here, guys. In any way, I'm not advocating to stand on the table here and say you need to bring back Patrick Peterson because I think he's lost a couple steps. I think that his age is a significant factor at his position, no doubt. But in terms of a veteran guy, that's what you're looking for, though. Somebody similar in intellect, a veteran guy that, knows his way around the NFL, knows the tricks of the trade, is able to come in and be a steady force, a veteran presence inside a room full of really, really young guys, man. You look at Anthony Aver. I think he could possibly be a contributor this year. You look at Dante Jackson, acquired in the Deontay Johnson trade. I think he is going to be the number 2. I think he will play across from Joey Porter Jr. to start this season. You look at second-year Joey Porter Jr. I think that provides a lot of big possibilities for the Steelers because I really love Joey Porter Jr. and his potential to be a budding superstar in this league and really take that year 2 leap. But guys, as the majority, you look at this cornerback room as a whole, you have to realize and you have to look at the lack of veteran presence there. There's 3 or 4 guys right now, or 3 guys that, 2 guys that have played more than a couple NFL seasons. Joey Porter Jr. is just going into year 2, guys. Then you got Corey Trice. This will be his first actual real season if he remains healthy. You look at Darius Rush just going into year 2. You look at Beanie Bishop, an undrafted free agent coming in. You look at those guys and you say to yourself, that's a really, really young room. So veteran presence is probably going to be a key, Wilson, man, no doubt. Fields has too many deficiencies, Lucas. There's too many, and I understand. Guys are excited about Justin Fields, but you cannot overlook his immense amount of deficiencies, and you can't sit here and lie to yourself either, guys. You got to be truthful about it and break it down. And would it be a tremendous story for Justin Fields to start out his career with a shitty franchise with the Chicago Bears? At least they're shitty right now. And I feel bad for Bears fans because they have to live through hell on earth with that the way that franchise is operated right now. But you look at his career there and what he was able to do or wasn't able to do, and being able to come over to the Pittsburgh Steelers on basically a deal where the Bears gave him away. You would love nothing more for him to write the story and succeed, and it would be an amazing story, guys. It would. But we have to face reality. Justin Fields is extremely deficient in so many categories that it's going to be a really uphill challenge for him. And I wish him nothing but the best, but this year has to be a year that he focuses on Justin, the ball player, Justin, the quarterback. He has to focus on it and not worry about carrying a franchise, not worrying about being the starter, playing the starter's minutes. No. He has to worry about getting better this year. He has to worry about taking what Russell Wilson is putting down and really taking that and utilizing it and applying it to his game. That's what Justin Fields has to do this season. And if Justin Fields is out there, guys, I think the season is taking a bad turn. Russell Wilson being injured is not what you would want. Russell Wilson being benched is not what you would want. And I just think, in best case scenario, guys, Russ Wilson starts. Russ Wilson revives his career, plays really, really well, gets the Steelers, to that back half of the season, and then roll the dice, see what happens. If something happens to Russ, and you got to put Justin in. Hopefully, he had enough time to study. That's probably best case scenario. We'll see. Danny Thomas, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Lucas Boyd, what do you think we should do with Pickens? Well, Pickens is entering year 3. Pickens is a guy that has tremendous potential, a guy that's proven with real NFL quarterback play. He can be an NFL superstar. He proved that. You saw the game to where he was able to put up almost 200 yards receiving and a couple tutties, big-time catches against the Cincinnati Bengals with Mason Rudolph, throwing him and delivering the football at an NFL level. He didn't have that all the time. Even with poor quarterback play, he was able to get the job done. You look at the game he had in Seattle, being able to move the chains when it was necessary. That's what you call your number one guy, your go-to guy, a guy that you can go to in the biggest moments. That's what you're looking for out of George Pickens, and I think he can do it. He had some lapses last year in judgment, lapses in his maturity level to where he wasn't the best teammate. He wasn't the best Steeler he could possibly be out there at times. But I think that was maybe him watching others do the same thing, and it rubbed off a little bit on him. And I think he was able to get that under control and wrap that up a little bit during the end of the season. Even when the ball wasn't coming his way at certain times, he was still able to keep his composure at the end of the season and still look like a real superstar, man. And I'm really excited to see what he can do. But I think the Steelers have to really take this year. Year 3 is the big year for George Pickens. And he has to be able to come in here and prove that he's the number one guy. And the Steelers will pay him. They paid Antonio Brown when that check came due. If they have a number one guy in the building, they're not just going to let him walk away. They'll pay him. Sign back Eric Rowe from Everett Kirkland. I liked Eric Rowe last year, Everett. I have to say that I thought Eric Rowe played a significant role late in the season last year. A guy that came in, was able to do it, was an NFL veteran. He fits what I'm asking for in terms of an NFL veteran, guy. I definitely think Eric Rowe is a potential target for people to maybe, bring back somebody like that or want to bring back somebody like that. So I'm never opposed to Eric Rowe, but I believe he plays safety, not cornerback. George T with the emojis. Whoa, I love them, baby. I love them. All right, guys, we're about 27 minutes into the show. Let's get that like button going here. Let's light it up a little bit. Hit the like button for us here on Steel City Live, only on Mic Drop Sports, our daily live show, as we continue to march toward that 5,000 subscriber mark. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. We are almost to 3,500, so let's keep on going. We are inching and gaining steam every day, so let's get that. Also, I want to recap our scheduling this week. Tomorrow night will be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Steel City Live. Wednesday, we'll be back to 6:30 p.m. Thursday, we'll be joined by Sean at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Friday at 6:30. So keep an eye out. I feel like this is going to be a big week for the Steelers. I'm not trying to get you overly hype or anything. I just feel like some things are about to change within this organization a little bit here in terms of the roster. I don't know why. I get these feelings sometimes. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. But I just got some feelings that things are about to pop off. And today, I didn't even hook up my computer. I didn't even get the internet on or nothing. I was just wanting to talk about this Cam stuff. So if any news happens today, throw it in there, guys, if you get any tweets or anything. How do you get the emojis, Lucas? You got to become a Mic Drop Mafia member. 99 cents a month. That comes with members-only shows during the year, chances to win in our giveaways, and you get cool emojis and loyalty badges and stuff. So, yeah, that's how you get that. You got to go to the membership section, and it's 99 cents a month. You can find it in your couch cushion. Oh, it's okay, Roberta. It's okay. George T, got to become a member. Yes. 99. Yes. Thank you, George. Appreciate it, man. Sorry I'm behind in the chat, guys. Thank you guys for you guys always trying to help out. I appreciate that so much. You guys are a solid group, man. No doubt about it. I appreciate you guys that are here every single day, man. You give me a lot of help, and I appreciate that so much. Everett says Pat P talking about he don't want to be no backup. He's too old and too light in butt. Here's the thing with Pat P. Everett, and if he did say that, and if he's saying like he doesn't want to be a backup or anything, that's him self-sabotaging. He should realize the point of his career that he is at right now, and that is what? He is a backup player. He's not an every down guy. He's not that guy anymore. If you want to be a guy, at his later latter part of the career here, to maybe possibly be on a team that has the potential to win in the playoffs and do something special, you got to maybe give up certain things and be willing to adjust. That's part about being a team player, guys. And that's what you should be looking for as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. You should be looking for players that are ready to be part of the team, willing to give up things that, are near and dear to them for the betterment of the team, for the team's sake. That's what we should be looking at for players. Not, everybody in the NFL level is good athletically. Everybody is superior. The top 1% of football players across the world. Yes. So they're good. What you're looking for is some of those things that you don't teach. Guys that are willing to not be selfish. We'll just say that. Thank you, Lucas. I appreciate that. Keep going, guys. Sorry, I appreciate the emojis. I love them, man. Keep them coming. Everett Kirkland, it will be a mistake to let Najee go. Warren have to hold the ball. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. Running back's position, I got to admit, guys, the more I think about this running back's room, I got to get on board with what the league's putting down, too. Do I like Najee Harris? Absolutely, guys. I think he's a phenomenal ball player. Do I think he's a guy that you can't live without? The answer is no. And I know some of you don't want to hear that, and that's okay. We don't all have to agree. That's what's so great about, what we do here. We can all talk about it and have fun with it, but you can live without him. Why? Because you look at all these other teams in the NFL, unless you have a real phenomenal superstar that's putting up a shit ton of points, a shit ton of yards, really a guy that can control and put the offense on his back, you're not paying him at the running back level. And let's just be frank about that. There's an occasional guy that will get through there and get some money, but let's just be real about it. And it seems like the turnover is very significant. And that's sad because I think the running backs do handle the ball a lot. They are major parts of the offense, but it's just the way it is, and it's just kind of crazy, to see the running back position be devalued the way it has been. I feel bad for Najee Harris, but the writing's on the wall for him right now. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are kind of waiting and seeing, man. And will it bite him in the ass? Maybe. I don't know. That Najee situation is definitely complicated in my eyes. But again, the more I think about it, it's a position that has a high turnover rate right now in the NFL. And there's nothing that we as fans can kind of do about it except for just watch it. Let it unfold. New member, Thomas Breeze. Welcome to the Mic Drop Mafia, Thomas. Appreciate you joining as a member. Thank you so very much for becoming part of the Mafia. Stroll says, what's up, bro? How about that Cam Sutton news? Not surprising. Big news, 8 games. Yeah, man, we were talking about it there at the front half of the show. Appreciate you, Strolls, for coming by, throwing that comment in there. Yeah, Cam Sutton, 8 games, definitely is going to be a major hit, but the Pittsburgh Steelers knew this was coming, guys. They definitely did. They knew exactly what they were dealing with when they brought Cam Sutton back. And Cam Sutton, the football player, Cam Sutton on the field was a really smart move by the Steelers, considering the financial ramifications of it were basically nothing. I think Omar Khan does a fantastic job of finding really bargain guys. Now I'd like to see him start to mix in some high dollar guys, which he did with Patrick Queen this offseason. We all forget about that signing. That was a high dollar signing. I know it was for less than what people thought his market value was, but that was a significant signing. That was the largest free agent acquisition by the Pittsburgh Steelers contractually ever in the franchise's history. So we have to realize those things and put them all together, guys. We can't, just say he only gets cheap players, because that's not the case. Yeah, Lucas says I can't let Najee go. If they do, it would be a huge mistake. Yeah, guys, it is what it is. I know we all have a lot of opinions on it. It's just hard. Again, I'd love to see Najee remain a Steeler forever, man. I think he provides some cool things. But definitely, I just don't think it's a have to. You don't have to, in my eyes. You have him for this year. Run the wheels off of him. Beat the brakes off of him. Sadly, that's what it is. Steve Pickering, what's up? I say 8 to 9 this year. What do you say? In my opinion, they don't do anything to help Russ. Too easy to double Pickens with nobody else there. I say 11 wins is my way too early prediction, and I got to snap back a little bit, or not snap back, or respond to what you said there in the back half. Too easy to double Pickens. I welcome them doubling Pickens, guys. And I hope that they find it easy to double Pickens, because I think there is talent there. That's just my opinion. I think they drafted Roman Wilson for a reason. I think that kid got some talent and potential upside. Will he be the most amazing player this year? I'm not sure. Maybe. But I definitely think his role grows throughout the season. I think Van Jefferson has the definite potential to do what he did when he first came into the league, with double-digit touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards receiving for a Super Bowl winning football team. When you play with NFL caliber quarterbacks like Russell Wilson, guys that have been to the mountaintop in won Super Bowls, I think that, that could spell good things for a guy like Van Jefferson. He had a little bit of injuries, flip-flop teams, wasn't able to get his footing last year. So hey, we'll see what happens. But there is the potential there. He's done it before. So we can't forget about what he did there before. He just basically got pushed out from the Cooper Kupps, from the Puka Nakuas, from the Atwoods. Those guys kind of just pushed him out the door. But that's okay. Somebody else can utilize him. We'll see what happens there. Maybe, Watkins does something good. I don't know, guys, but I definitely think that they could add some spots there. We'll see what happens. But do I think it's the end-all, be-all there, too? No, because I think that wide receiver room has enough talent in it that if they do double George Pickens, I think that will free up some other guys. And we were talking about last week, too, that tight end room and the significant role that it'll play. I think you can do some special things out of those heavy sets. I think that tight end room is versatile enough and athletic enough that you can really mix things up and do some special things. I think you could be able to run tempo out of it. I think you're going to be able to slow down, control the time of possession out of those jumbo sets, run the football in an effective way. I really feel like definitely they'll be able to do some special things out of that too. So that may help, but definitely, would it hurt to get another wide receiver? No. But I could see this Pittsburgh Steelers team being successful, being a top 3 defense in the NFL, if they remain healthy with the way that they are set up on paper, in my opinion. I think the defensive front right now is the only real concern for me, but I still think that they could get it done. But yeah, the offense, I think they can be able to hold their own. I'm not worried about teams doubling George, because I think that'll create opportunities for others, especially the tight ends, especially that running game. And you're going to have to pick your poison, man. There's only so much room in one football on a team, man. So, you can stack up as many superstars as you want, but there's only one football to go around. So, it is what it is. We'll see how it goes. But I definitely see Steve's point, no doubt about it. Let me get a drink, guys, here as we hit about 38 minutes into the show. So let's make sure we're hitting a shit out of that like button for us here on Steel City Live, only on Mic Drop Sports. I'm Jason, your host, every single day. Let me snag a drink. Lucas Boy 78, bro. One question: is Steelers going to sign a good wide receiver? I think they have a lot of good, serviceable guys. I think the question remains, Lucas, are they going to sign somebody that is a considered superstar? Somebody to that level. I think that's the question that remains. And like I said, guys, for some weird reason, I have some hope for this week. For some reason, one of you, I think it was George, brought up, hey, we're about 2 weeks out here from camp kicking off. Okay. I think this is the week that you maybe start to see something maybe change up, or maybe the possibility of a move of some sort. I think we're in that time frame. We'll see. Jonathan Stevens, what's up? We are in here daily. Calvin Austin, Muth is our number 2 wide receiver combo. Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin. Either way, I believe our number 2 will be a duo. Yeah, it's got to be committee, no doubt about it. And I forgot about Calvin. Sorry. When I was talking about that wide receiver room, I knew there was a gap there. For some reason, I was not thinking of Calvin, and I don't know why. But Calvin's been busting his ass, so I want to give Calvin that opportunity too, man. A guy that's worked really, really hard, going into really his second year of playing football at the NFL level. So I know it's year 3 contractually, but Calvin Austin, definitely a guy that I think that needs to be looked out for here, and definitely can provide dynamic that maybe provides that Steelers offense with that number 2, that committee of guys, being involved in that committee of guys. OS, I am genuinely doubting the current wide receiver room. I really think that it will hold back the Steelers as a team, but I trust Omar Khan. Go Steelers. Yeah, and I definitely can see what you guys are saying. You're not seeing guys with those monster numbers. Man, I keep hitting my mic and my table. But you're not seeing those guys that you would like to say are those superstars type guys. Okay. But again, guys, let's not forget Van Jefferson. The one time that he was healthy in the NFL in his very short NFL career, put up double-digit touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards receiving on a Super Bowl winning football team. I just don't think that can go unnoticed. I definitely don't. I definitely think that has to be taken into account. I definitely think that we need to take into account that this is really Calvin Austin's second year playing football at the NFL level. So, give him a chance. I think Roman Wilson, he was drafted with high hopes. I think that that's a possibility to be good. So I'm not totally down in the dumps. I don't think it's a position group that's going to kill this football team's chances of being good. But I definitely think getting some help there, that would be awesome. But again, there's one football, and there's only so many times they can go around here with the football to different people. Lucas, I say 11-6. That was my way too early prediction, guys. When I get them in camp and I can actually see what's going on at camp, I can get up there to Latrobe, lay my eyes on what's being done, and kind of see, the vibe. I got to get that vibe too. And how this team is coming together and things of that nature. I need to see that in person. And then I'll formulate a little bit better prediction. Aaron says Najee is amazing. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's amazing. He only averages 6 yards a game, So I would say that he's a damn good player, Aaron. No doubt about that. And I think he's a quality asset to this football team. I definitely think that he's a quality leader. I definitely think that he provides a lot of good things. But, we'll see what the Steelers do with Najee. And maybe, I know, there will be arguments about his yardage and things of that nature. I'm just going to leave the Najee thing alone now, for now, because I just want to see what happens with the Steelers and him contractually. I'd like to see how he performs here in this season too, behind a young, healthy upstart offensive line, a really good offensive coordinator, NFL quarterback play throughout the season. I'd love to see him in that environment and just see what he can do, and that may change my opinion of Najee Harris in a lot of different ways, and I think it may change a lot of people's opinion of him. All right, Lucas. See you, man. All right, man. Peace. Let's go. Shaq Daddy. Scotty Miller, Van Jefferson being number 4 is good. Problem to have. I have a feeling that CA3 can do big things. Reminds me of Lockett. Yeah, too, I forgot about Scotty Miller, a guy that played with the great Tom Brady, the real go to the NFL at the quarterback position. So, yeah. Definitely, they have some talent there, guys. Let's not discount it to where it's like all doom and gloom, because it's not. It's not. It really isn't. Russell Davis, what's your take on Aiyuk? I think right now, Brandon Aiyuk is a highly valued guy. And definitely, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers will be fortunate to get somebody like him. But do I think they need to go out of their way and give up significant high draft capital for it? I don't. And that's just my opinion. Now, Brandon Aiyuk, he wants out of there, according to many reports. Steelers are on that list. My take is if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I think financially they'll make it work one way or another. But you got to look. You have George Pickens that will be going into year 4. Get ready to get paid too. How will he perform? How would you handle that situation? Would you then be in the same boat as the 49ers are in with maybe 2 high-priced wide receivers, some young talent? There's a lot of variables at play there. But I'm going to have to just wait and see if it happens. I could take it or leave it. Do I think that he would provide, an interesting wrinkle to this team? Absolutely. No doubt. He's a good ball player. Shaq Daddy Leal is a bust, and his lack of work in the offseason has been obvious, but I think he'll be gone. Yeah, Leal has been a bust. I can't argue that, Shaq. I totally agree. What's up, Russ? Thanks for coming, buddy. Thomas Breeze, does a running back or a wide receiver work better as a returner under the new kickoff rules? I think returning the football, Thomas, in my opinion, is not a wide receiver or running back type thing. And I can see what you're getting at, which skill set, position player-wise would do better in that. I think returning is a skill in itself, and I think it requires a guy that has that special skill set. You look at a guy like Cordell Patterson, I think he possesses that type of skill set. We had high hopes for Calvin Austin with his speed to potentially maybe be somebody that can do that. I think you'll see a variety of guys back there this year with Cordell. I think you'll see that, I think Patterson will be the steady presence as the returner. But I think you'll see a little bit of a committee back there with him until they figure that out. And I think that's a quality question what Thomas brings out. Who is better equipped skill set wise, a bigger body running back type guy, a more speedy, shifty, sleek type wide receiver talent type guy. I'm not sure what that answer is. My guess would be somebody with tremendous speed would be a real asset there. Why? Because I think the play is going to be so bang, bang once it starts. Once it's kicked off, nobody can move until that ball is caught, So definitely, I think it's going to be a really quick bang, bang play. So I'm probably leaning more toward guys that possess tremendous speed because I think with that initial, contact, only 10 yards apart from each other and that initial contact and everything being so chaotic there, I think a real speedy guy would have the ability and a real opportunity to be able to blow that thing open and really break those returns for big, big yards, if not touchdowns. And I think that it'll come into play a lot this year. I think you'll see a team win or lose on one of those kickoff returns. Yes, Russ, 8 games of suspension for Cameron Sutton. He'll be eligible to come back week 9, which is the Steelers' bye week, so you won't get to see him until week 10. I'm not sure who they play then. All right, guys, let's make sure we are hitting that like button. As I am drinking my water there, I need a little bit of drink. Thank you, Miss Pittsburgh. I appreciate that. Yes, guys, let's hit that like button. Also, again, subscribe, become a Mafia member like our newest member, Thomas, did tonight. I appreciate him for joining. Robert Road, what's up, man? The Steelers can't pay everybody. Najee is likely gone after this year, while Warren will get an extension. If the Steelers got another star wide receiver, they would have to let Pickens go. 53 players on the team. Yeah, that's where you run into it. And I know people say, the Steelers will have that $104 million next year. They'll be in the tops of the NFL in terms of available salary cap space in 2025. I understand that. But Robert brought up a good point. There's only so many positions on this football team. You only keep so many players at certain positions, and you can't pay everybody. Even if you have a ton of available cap space, you still have to fill out a 53-man roster. You still have to be able to be under the salary cap, and I know there's ways to manipulate it. We're not diving into all that today. Again, I'm trying to work on somebody that is a true capologist. I want them to come in here, and I want them to really give you guys a great, tremendous breakdown of the cap. And if I can't find anybody, I'm going to get my homework done and study it up. I know some, but I'm going to really dive into it and get every rule that I can find and try to break it down and really become well versed in it, because I think that's something important for us as fans to really understand. Shaq Daddy, Leal, James Daniels, and Dan Moore will be all available trade options to help us acquire number two. Would love to get DK. Here's the thing, too, guys. You're going to see cut down soon. That's going to be not far away here. So that may be an opportunity for the Steelers to get somebody. We've talked about that before. I don't know. I got a weird feeling this week something's going to happen, and I don't know why. I can't shake it, though. Scott says, yes, here we go, Steelers. What's up, Scott? Good to see you. George TD, Steve Pickering. Most NFL teams grab up as many weapons as they can. Miami and San Fran, to name a few, that helps any QB. They doomed Pickett right out of the gate. It wouldn't shock me if he succeeds in Philly. I think he has no guts, no intestinal fortitude. You can't blame the team and say that they doomed him, except for the Matt. I could see maybe Matt Canada being a bad thing, but they still were early in the Matt Canada bullshit. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if I could say that I think the Steelers doomed him from the start. I think he had weapons. Deontay, he had tight ends, he had Pickens. I mean, he's had some weapons there. So I'm not saying that he was doomed. Everybody loves Najee. He had Najee there. I think that he had the weapons. I think his lack of intestinal fortitude, his lack to fight for what's his lack of being able to push the ball down the field, his happy feet, his inability to, throw people open. Instead, he wants to sit here and hit the check down all the time. I thought that was an issue. I don't know. I wish him the best because I don't want to see anybody fail at anything. I think that sucks. But it would surprise me if he was successful in Philly, because guess what? He's playing behind Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts is that dude. I believe we'll go 11-6. I think a lot of people say that. Yeah, I said that too. 11-6 is realistic, but what if they go 15-2 regular season? Will be crazy. I've been a Steelers fan for 30 years, and it's the first year in a long time that I've felt very confident of our team. Yeah, and I feel the same way. I get certain years, and there's certain years, guys, and I'm not calling this a Super Bowl year. Don't kill me for that or crucify me. I just think there's some years to where you feel a little bit of a different vibe. And that, I think, comes from what you're seeing from the football team. What are they, putting out there in terms of vibe, I think that that's a big thing, man. And I definitely feel different about this team. George T, I think Aiyuk is getting more airtime than J.R. Ewing from Dallas. Tired of that drama. Me too, man. He does get a lot of airtime. Wave those towels. I appreciate it, Miss Pittsburgh. Robert Rhodes, Miami can't keep the talent this offseason. They got killed in free agency. San Fran will have to pay the QB soon, and that will change everything. Yeah, salary cap's the thing, man. You can't pay everybody, and just because a team has a bunch for 1 year, I mean, yeah, things change. Money changes, contract. I get it. It is very complex, guys. And that is something that none of us are, super versed at. We don't all know the ins and outs of it. That's why I'd like somebody to come in and really talk to us about it. I think that would be really cool. But again, you can't pay everybody. Every year's different. The cap's different every year. You got to watch what you're doing. You got to play within the rule book, Armand, a salary cap episode or two would be great in a few weeks. Yeah, I think so too, Armand. I'm going to try it. I've been looking, man. I can't find anybody that I really maybe have a shot. Some people are assholes. Some people won't even answer you back, man. So, yeah, you gotta be selective and try to find somebody. Definitely. Some people think they're too big or too great for you, Russ says, wow, didn't see 8 games for Sutton. Yeah, it's a good one. Big Ben said, this is from Slaymaker. Big Ben said they haven't had the Steeler vibe, and those guys need to step up. That's the change in vibe we are seeing this year. Big, tough team with confident veterans. Yeah, it is a different vibe. And if anybody wants to say that it's all about, X's and O's. It's all about what's on the paper. You're misleading yourself, because a football team there's difference, man. And this goes for every sport. You have to have a team come together. You have to have a team that plays for each other. You have to have a group of unselfish players, man. The vibe, if that's how we're referring to it, that's how I was referring to it. And you have to feel that, man. It has to be there. You have to see those types of things. There's some intangibles in football that are something that you just don't teach. You just can't teach. Russ says, Jason, the best capologist out there is Dave Bryan from Steelers Depot. He explains it that fans can understand. I think he would come on. Well, I could try. Thank you. I'll write his name down here. Let me write his name down. Thanks, Russ. I'll check him out. See if I can figure out a way to message him. Appreciate that, buddy. All right, guys, we're about 55 minutes into the show, so anything else that you guys would like to touch on real quick? We usually go for about an hour each day, so anything else you guys want to touch on, make sure you put that into the chat, your comments, questions, and concerns, and make sure you hit the shit out of that like button for us here at Steel City Live, only here on Mic Drop Sports. I'm Jason. As always, we are in here daily talking Steelers, talking football. Also, guys, we will have our morning uploads starting again tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We will take a break again Friday. Barring anything significant that happens, we'll have some special shows, of course, too. But make sure you're looking out for those. Let's get those back into mid-season form. During the season, my morning uploads, man, get 4,000 or 5,000 views. Now it's like, it's like shit. You're lucky to get a couple hundred. So let's get those Steelers morning uploads back into our normal playlists and get those cranking along as always. Absolutely, black and yellow, baby. Oh man, thank God we're wrapping it up, man. We are getting toward that. We're getting toward that training camp, and I think it's going to be really fun. Again, guys, I want to remind you, I will be at training camp as many days as humanly possible this year. I'm going to really make a concerted effort to be there several days. So if you see me out there, make sure you stop, talk, say hello, introduce yourself, and again, I'm going to try to work on some content there. I'm going to try to do maybe some question and answer type stuff just to be able to get you guys involved and see your faces on the channel and, get you guys incorporated. So that would be really cool. And I think it would be something neat just to have a video mashup of, history questions of the Steelers or current questions of what's going on with the football team, what your pulse is about the team, things of that nature. But definitely, I think it would be really cool. Aaron says, how we need one more good interior defensive lineman. We do. Definitely, I don't think that would hurt either. You really are going to have to be concerned with Keanu Benton this year. His size is a factor, guys. Some may think that he's playing out of position, and I, for one, think that I may be in that group of people, but we'll see. I think he's a phenomenal athlete. I think he can do some big things. So fingers crossed on a year two Keanu Benton, definitely. And fingers crossed on a return for Cameron Hayward to be healthy. And I know a lot of people right now have some mixed feelings about Cam, saying he may be selfish a little bit with the money, all that kind of stuff. I think that all works itself out. I think Cam is just trying to be strong and stand a united front here, or a strong front to the franchise. This is a business, guys, and you can't, fault a guy for wanting to get paid and wanting to, take care of his family in that aspect. But I think that all shakes itself out. I think it all works itself out. I think Cam realizes, too, what he has left to do and what he still needs to complete his resume as an NFL player, and that is to kiss some sticky Lombardi trophy and collect a couple rings here. So definitely he understands the assignment. We'll see how that all goes for Cam, but I think that all works itself out. Also, the big suspension of Cameron Sutton. My morning upload will probably be about that suspension, what it means to this Steelers secondary. I'm going to do a little bit of deeper dive into it, more than what we did here tonight, into the Cam Sutton thing in the morning and what the Steelers could potentially do to still fill those holes. that will be left, and those types of things for the first 9 weeks of the season as they get to the bye week, week 9, and have the availability of Cam Sutton in week 10. And we'll see what this means for the Steelers secondary and how things are going to unfold. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. We'll be back tomorrow again with our daily upload. And don't forget, tomorrow is our Tuesday show. I have youth football practice, so I will be on at 8:30. I'm probably going to have dinner done. I think I'm going to do a crock pot meal tomorrow, Mississippi pot roast, so I won't have to do anything crazy. Catch you later, George. Thanks for coming, buddy. Robert Rhodes says Benton will have 7 or 8 sacks. He is the least of my concerns. Cam's age, health, and Larry O and his health are concerns for me. Yeah, those two, your latter two in there, are definitely concerns for me too. Keanu Benton, I'm just a little concerned he's playing out of position at the nose tackle spot. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I think he's a great athlete. I think he can get it done. We'll just see how it goes size-wise. We'll see how it works out. But thank you, Miss Pittsburgh. But as always, guys, I truly appreciate your comments. I truly appreciate and value all of your opinions and your thoughts about this football team and the NFL. I really, really do. And you guys, the Steelers fans are some of the smartest fans out there, in my opinion. And I know people will dog us Yinzers, but I'm proud to be a Yinzer and proud to be part of this great, great nation of sports fans that support the Pittsburgh Steelers. So until tomorrow, guys, I'm your boy Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace. Thank you, guys.